You want pen? Okay. Right. Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Okay, right. So in Faraday's laws of electrolysis, we have Faraday first law, its application, Faraday second law, its application. But before understanding Faraday first law and second law, let's see what are the basics idea of Faraday's first law and second law. Okay, see, we know that, so we take quantity of current, strength of current. In this topic, we use strength of current, quantity of current. Can you tell me, the strength of current can be measured in ampere, yes or no? It is denoted by I. So strength of current is measured in ampere, denoted by I. Quantity of current is measured in coulomb, it is denoted by CR, here we use Q. Then what is the relation between quantity of current and strength of current? Where quantity of current is equals to Q equal to I into T, where I is a strength of current in ampere and T is a time in second. Okay, write down. Strength of current expressed in strength of current expressed in ampere I, comma, quantity of current expressed in coulombs Q. Okay. So therefore, now what is the relation between quantity of current, strength of current? The quantity of current Q is equals to I into T, where T equal to time in second. Okay, and where Q equal to coulomb, quantity of current in coulomb, and T equal to time in second, I is equals to ampere, strength of the current. Now how do you define coulomb? Can I take, if I equal to 1 ampere and T equal to 1 second, then Q equal to 1 coulomb, yes or no? Then define coulomb. When 1 ampere current passed for 1 second, isn't it? When 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second is called 1 coulomb. Therefore, coulomb defined as, coulomb is defined as when 1 ampere current, coulomb is defined as when 1 ampere current passed for 1 second. So when 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second, which is called 1 coulomb. Okay. Next, but we also know that charge of 1 electron. So what is the charge of 1 electron? 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Okay, in coulombs it is a 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Then what is the charge of 1 mole of electron? It is 1 electron. What is the charge of 1 mole of electron? Yes, charge of 1 electron multiply with Avogadro number, right, Na. So therefore, charge of 1 mole of electron is equals to, which is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs into Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 power 23, which is approximately equal to 96,500 coulomb. Okay, Therefore, 96,500 coulomb is what? It is the charge of how many electron? 1 mole of electron. Because charge of 1 electron is this. Charge of 1 mole of electron is 96,500 coulomb, but which is also called 1 Faraday. Therefore, here onwards we use Faraday. So the meaning of Faraday is, it is a 1 Faraday equal to charge of 1 mole of electron, which is equals to 96,500 coulomb. Therefore, 96,500 coulombs is equals to 1 Faraday. So this Faraday's laws of electrolysis, the whole subtopic is depends on this Faraday only. Okay. Now we understood what is the meaning of 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday equal to charge of 1 mole of electron, that is 96,500 coulomb. Then what is the importance of 1 Faraday? See, the importance of 1 Faraday is when a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the any electrolytic solution which deposit or liberate 1 gram equivalent weight of a substance. It means suppose when a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so take hydrochloric acid, it is HCl, right? Through the HCl, when 1 Faraday of electric current is passed. So when 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the hydrochloric acid, which deposit or liberate how much gram equivalent weight of a substance. That means, now tell me, when a current is passed through the hydrochloric acid, what is the liberated cathode? What is liberated at cathode? Hydrogen gas. And what is liberated anode? Chlorine gas. Now question is, how many grams of hydrogen, how many grams of chlorine is liberated? So it is a gram equivalent weight. What is the equivalent weight of hydrogen? So it is a 1.008, approximately we take 1 gram. What is the equivalent weight of chlorine? Very good, 35.5 grams. It means by passing 1 Faraday of electric current through the hydrochloric acid, which liberate or deposit a gram equivalent weight. The gram equivalent weight of hydrogen is 1, approximately 1.008. You can take 1 for calculation. Next is chlorine is 35.5. Therefore, 35.5 grams of chlorine liberated or deposited, or 1 gram of hydrogen is liberated. So therefore, can we write like this? 1 Faraday of electric current is always equals to which liberate or deposit gram equivalent weight. Okay. Now question is like this. 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the hydrochloric acid, which liberate 1 gram of hydrogen, 35.5 grams of chlorine. Now suppose if I pass 2 Faraday of electric current. 2 Faraday of electric current is passed through the same solution. How much hydrogen, how much chlorine is liberated? Hydrogen is double, 2 grams. Chlorine is 71 grams. Okay. So can you calculate like this? Similarly, one more example. Let us take molten NaCl. Right. So molten, when current is passed through the molten NaCl, what is deposited? What is liberated? Sodium deposited at cathode, because cation no. Chlorine liberated at anode. Now question is, if I pass 1 Faraday of electric current through the molten NaCl, then how many grams of sodium, how many grams of chlorine deposited? So 23 grams of sodium, because equivalent weight. You have studied redox reaction no? 23 grams of sodium deposited. How many grams of chlorine? 35.5 grams of chlorine liberated at anode. Right? Therefore, in that way, this 1 Faraday is very, very important. Therefore, 1 Faraday liberate or deposit always gram equivalent weight of a substance at cathode and anode. Okay? Have you done this? Okay. So 96,500 coulomb is called 1 Faraday. Next, right? When a 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the electrolytic solution, which deposit or liberate gram equivalent weight of any substance, gram equivalent weight of any substance at respective electrode. At respective electrode. That is 1 Faraday is equals to gram equivalent weight. Notice on this subtopic, most of the time we will get logical questions. To understand logical question, you need to understand these basics. If you understand this basic, without formula you can identify the answer. Okay, it doesn't require even 1-2 seconds also. That much easy it is, and if you understood. Okay, take down. So 1 Faraday is equals to gram equivalent weight, right? Now one example. When a 1 Faraday of electric current is, right, example, when a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the HCl, which liberate how many grams of hydrogen? 1.008 gram, approximately 1 gram of hydrogen at cathode, 1.008 grams of hydrogen at cathode, and 35.5 grams of chlorine at anode. 35.5 grams of chlorine at anode. What is the reason? Because equivalent weight, no, equivalent weight of hydrogen is 1 and equivalent weight of chlorine is 35.5. Okay, so therefore now take this tabular column. Element, its atomic mass, n factor, equivalent mass, equivalent volume. Okay, element, let us start with hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, calcium, zinc, copper, silver, etc. And tell me their atomic mass. So what is atomic mass of hydrogen? 1.008. You can take approximately 1 gram. Atomic mass is 1 gram. Chlorine atomic mass is 35.5. Oxygen is 16 atomic mass. Sodium is 23. Magnesium 24. Aluminium 27. Calcium 40. Zinc, copper, zinc, do you remember? Copper, copper 63.5, and zinc is 5.7 something. You can take, I think, 3, right? I have given atomic mass, no? See exact atomic mass, correct? Only 65, check once. Next, silver, this is 108. What is atomic mass of copper and zinc, correct? Is that 63.5? Okay, this is 65 only. Okay, fine. N factor, hydrogen is 1. N factor nothing but it may be valency, it may be charge, right? Chlorine 1, oxygen 2, sodium 1, magnesium 2, aluminium 3, calcium 2, zinc 2, copper it is 2, and silver 1. Silver 1, Ag plus. It is Ag plus 2. It is a plus 2, plus 2, plus 3, plus 2 plus minus 2 minus 1, it's a plus 1. Okay, then tell me, but we want actually equivalent mass. So what is the equivalent mass of hydrogen? It is 1, actually 1.008. You can take 1 for calculation. And next is chlorine 35.5 and oxygen is 8. See here, the equivalent mass of these three elements, you have to remember it. You must. And moreover, their equivalent volume also. I think same data I have given. Their equivalent volume also. Then what is the volume related to this hydrogen? It is a 11,200 ml or 11.2 liters. Next, chlorine also same, 11,200 milliliter or 11.2 liters. Next, it is a 5,600 ml equivalent volume and 5.6 liter. Right? The volumes corresponding to these weights. Next, sodium, tell me, its equivalent weight is 23, this is 12, it is 9, it is 20, yeah, this is, so here remember copper is, you will get 31.75, it is 32.75 approximately, remember values, 32.5, yeah, okay, this is 31.75, okay, fine. Silver is 108. Okay, now tell me, suppose question is like this, when 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the molten AgNO3, how many grams of silver deposited? It is a 108 grams, because 1 Faraday can deposit 108 grams of silver. 1 Faraday of electric current can deposit how many grams of copper? 31.75 gram. 1 Faraday electric current can deposit 32.5 grams of zinc. Like that, 1 Faraday can deposit these equivalent weights. Similarly, 1 Faraday can liberate how many ml of hydrogen gas? So 1 Faraday can also liberate 11,200 milliliter. It means 11.2 liters of hydrogen gas. 1 Faraday of electric current can liberate how many ml of chlorine gas? 11,200 ml. And 1 Faraday can also liberate 5,600 milliliter of oxygen gas, because they are equivalent volumes. Okay. So based on this tabular column, we can expect the questions. Okay. Written question. How many grams of aluminium deposited at cathode on electrolysis of molten AlCl3 by passing 3 Faraday of electric current. By passing 3 Faraday of electric current. Tell me. So why? Here 1 Faraday of electric current, which is equals to 9 gram of aluminium, because 1 Faraday equal to gram equivalent weight. Aluminium gram equivalent weight is 9. So 1 Faraday equal to 9 gram, then 3 Faraday equals to 3 into 9, 27 grams. Okay, understand now? Next, what is the volume of hydrogen and oxygen liberated? What is the volume of hydrogen and oxygen liberated on electrolysis of acidified water? What is the volume of hydrogen oxygen liberated on electrolysis of acidified water by passing 4 Faraday of electric current? By passing 4 Faraday of electric current. Right. So by passing 4 Faraday of electric current, what is the volume of hydrogen and volume of oxygen liberated? Tell me. So what is the volume? Here we know that for hydrogen, tell me, 1 Faraday of of electric current, which is equals to how much volume? 11,200 ml, right? So 1 Faraday equal to 11,200 ml. Then 4 Faraday equal to, right, 4 into 11,200 ml. Okay, that can be calculated. Similarly, 1 Faraday for oxygen, 1 Faraday is equals to 5,600 milliliter, and 4 Faraday equal to 4 into 5,600. Yes or no? So you can get the answer for many questions based on this tabular column. Okay, we'll do some more questions. Before that, let me finish this Faraday's first line, second law. Right, Faraday's first law. Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Okay, so what is the statement of Faraday's first law? It states that the quantity of electric current, the mass of the substance deposited electrode is directly proportional to quantity of electric current passed through the solution. Therefore, what is the statement? It states that the amount of the substance W is deposited at electrode is directly proportional to quantity of electric current passed through the electrolytic solution. It means, so W is directly proportional to Q, where what is the W? Mass of the substance deposited. We know that when electric current is passed through the any electrolytic solution, tell me, it is a cathode anode. By using cathode anode, if you pass the electric current, what happen? So here it is a cathode. Suppose here substance deposited here also deposit, no? Now how much substance deposited at electrode? The amount of the substance deposited electrode is directly proportional to quantity of electric current passed, right, passed through the solution. Therefore, W is directly proportional to Q, where W is what? Amount of substance deposited or liberated. Q is equal to what? Quantity of electric current passed through the electrolytic solution. Right. It states that Faraday first law. It states that the amount of substance deposited electrode, the amount of substance deposited or liberated, the amount of substance deposited or liberated at electrode is directly proportional to quantity of electric current passed through the solution. Quantity of electric current passed through the electrolytic solution. Next, right, let the W gram of substance deposited, let the W gram of substance deposited by passing how much current? Q quantity. by passing capital Q quantity of electric current. By passing Q quantity of electric current. Then tell me, so can we write W is directly proportional to Q? Yes or no? Then write that, remove this proportional, you can write proportionality constant W equal to, I'll write Z into Q, equation 1. Tell me where, what is the W equal to, take down. It is amount of substance deposited at electrode. It may be cathode or anode. Next, where, what is the Q equal to? It is a quantity of electric current. Electric current passed through the electrolyte. So quantity should be taken in coulombs, no? Quantity of current in coulombs, right? Next, where Z equal to what? So Z equal to, of course, proportionality constant. It is called electrochemical equivalent. Okay, it is called electrochemical equivalent, right? So where Z is electrochemical equivalent. Okay, it is equation 1. But we know that what is the Q equal to? I into T, right? We also know that Q equal to I into T. Therefore, substitute in equation 1. W equal to, tell me, Z into I into T. Equation 2, where I equal to strength of current. So strength of current expressed in ampere. Strength of current in ampere, and T equal to time, it should be in second only. Time in second. Okay. Next, so what is the definition of Z and its unit? There was question asked on Z in CET. Okay, next is definition of Z, or how to define Z. So here W equal to Z into Q, right? So can we write Z equal to W by Q? If Q equal to 1 coulomb, tell me, Q equal to 1 coulomb, then what is the Z equal to? Z equal to W. So Q equal to 1 coulomb means, can I take Q equal to, but what is the Q equal to I into T? So can we take I equal to 1 ampere? Yes or no? T equal to 1 second, no? So therefore, when I equal to 1 ampere, T equal to 1 second, Z equal to W. Then define what is Z. Electrochemical equivalent defined as, yes, it is defined as the amount of the substance deposited electrode when 1 ampere current passed for 1 second, nothing but when 1 coulomb electric current is passed, right? Right. Take asterisk, W equal to Z into Q, Z equal to W by Q. It is defined as the amount of substance deposited or liberated at electrode. It is defined as the amount of substance deposited or liberated at electrode when 1 ampere current is passed for, when 1 ampere current is passed for how many seconds? 1 second. Passed for 1 second. Then what is the unit of electrochemical equivalent? So electrochemical equivalent, Z equal to W by Q. Tell me. So Z equal to W by Q. What is the unit of W? Grams, grams, kilograms. Okay. Q equal to coulomb, right? Therefore it is a gram per coulomb. Gram per coulomb. This was the CET question. Which of the following is a unit of electrochemical equivalent? Gram per coulomb or kilogram per coulomb? Okay. Next. Fine. Then here take this equation 2. W equal to Z into I into T. Okay. And we also know that W equal to Z into Q. Right. Now tell me, but we know that if the Q equal to 1 Faraday, tell me, if Q is equals to 96,500 coulomb, that is 1 Faraday. That means when 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the electrolytic solution, when 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the electrolytic solution, how much amount of the substance deposited? Gram equivalent weight. That means if Q equal to 96,500 coulomb, then what is the W equal to? Equivalent weight. Nothing but gram equivalent weight, no. So W become equivalent weight, because when 96,500 coulomb is passed, which deposited equivalent weight of any substance. Therefore, if Q equal to 96,500 coulomb, then W equal to E. Therefore, in place of W, you can write E. E equal to Z into 96,500 coulomb. Then we want Z equal to E by 96,500 coulomb. Very, very important. Where what is E? E is equals to gram equivalent weight. Okay. Now substitute in equation 2 and 1 and 2 this. If you substitute equation 1, what is the W equal to? E by 96,500 into Q. Equation 3. Substitute in equation 2, W equal to E by 96,500 I into T. It is equation 4. Do you understand how we have taken this? Okay. Next. Now this is a W, where W equal to what? Weight of the substance deposited or liberated. Suppose if the gas is liberated, sometime in electrolysis process, gas may be liberated. For example, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Okay, when the gas is liberated, so instead of calculation of weight, the calculation of volume become easy. That means volume is more preferable for gases. Therefore, now I want to calculate volume. So instead of this W, I want to take volume. Then what is the formula? So therefore, not density. Directly can take formula, no. If you take this is the volume, here take is what? Equivalent volume. Weight become volume. Equivalent weight become equivalent volume. Right? Therefore, next right. For gaseous products are formed, for the gaseous products, when gaseous product, when the gaseous products are formed, then you can calculate the volume. Volume of gas liberated is equals to, so here in equivalent weight, take equivalent volume divided by 96,500 into Q. This is one formula. And volume of gas liberated also equal to equivalent volume by 96,500 coulomb into I into T. This is another formula 6, where what is EV? What is the V first? V. It is volume of gas liberated at electrodes, and EV is equals to equivalent volume of gas. For equivalent volume, particularly we will get for only 3 gases. So hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen, and there what is the equivalent volumes? Hydrogen 11,200 ml. It is hydrogen, chlorine same, remember like this. Oxygen is 5,600 milliliter. Okay. Next, Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Faraday's second law of electrolysis. Faraday's second law. Tell me what Faraday's second law of electrolysis says. So according to Faraday's second law, when a same quantity of electric current is passed through the two different electrolytic solution, when a same quantity of electric current passed through the two different electrolytic solution, the mass of the substance deposited at electrode is directly proportional to their equivalent mass or equivalent weight. It means when a same quantity of electric current, for example, let us take there are two electrolytes like this, they are connected in a series. Now it is the same quantity of electric current is passing through these two electrolytic solutions. Tell me, when same quantity is passing through the two different electrolytic solution, how much, like for example here copper sulfate, here is zinc sulfate. So same quantity of electric current is passed through the two different electrolytic solution, how much copper deposited, how much zinc deposited at electrode. So which is not same quantity. When a same quantity of electric current is passed through the two different electrolytic solution, the mass of the substance deposited, W, is directly proportional to their equivalent mass, E. That means, so therefore according to Faraday's second law, W is directly proportional to E. Then W1 is directly proportional to E1, W2 directly proportional to E2. Therefore W1 by W2 equal to, tell me. So therefore, now for example, let us take when a same quantity of electric current passed through the copper sulfate and zinc sulfate, then what is the mass of the copper and what is the mass of the zinc is deposited? W copper by W zinc. Tell me. So W copper by W zinc equal to, what is the equivalent mass of copper?
63.
What is the equivalent mass of the copper? 31.75. Zinc is 32.5. Therefore W copper by W zinc equal to 31.75 by 32.5. This is according to Faraday's second law. That means W directly proportional to E. Okay, similarly, when a same quantity of electric current is passed through the three solutions like silver solution, let us take hydrogen solution, and let us take one more is aluminum solution, electrolyte. There are three electrolytes: silver, hydrogen, aluminum electrolyte. When a same quantity of electric current is passed through these three solutions, then what is the mass of the silver, hydrogen and aluminum deposited? The mass of the silver deposited directly proportional to its equivalent mass 108, and hydrogen 1, and aluminum 9. Therefore, W is directly proportional to E. W1 by W2 equal to E1 by E2. Okay, done. Faraday's second law of electrolysis. When a same quantity of electric current passed through the different electrolytic solution, the mass of the substance deposited or liberated is directly proportional to what? Directly proportional to their equivalent mass. That is W directly proportional to E, W1 directly proportional to E1, W2 E2, W1 by W2 equal to E1 by E2. Take one example. W1 by W2 equal to E1 by E2. After that, take one example. When a same quantity of electric current is passed through the copper sulfate, molten zinc sulfate, copper sulfate, molten or fused zinc sulfate, then W copper by W zinc equal to W copper by W zinc equal to take. Okay. Okay, take one note. Okay, we know that 1 Faraday of electric current is equals to its gram equivalent weight, no? Yes or no? 1 Faraday of electric current can deposit or liberate gram equivalent weight of any substance. But we also know that gram equivalent weight equal to what? Gram molecular weight divided by n factor. Yes or no? But we also know that this gram molecular weight also equal to what? Mole or not? Gram molecular weight is always equal to 1 mole, right? Okay, so gram molecular weight equal to 1 mole. 1 mole divided by n factor. Okay. Now tell me. So here 1 Faraday equal to its gram equivalent weight. So 1 Faraday also equal to, you can write it is a molecular weight by n factor. But I want this 1 Faraday equal to mole 1 mole divided by n factor. Okay, right. For example, listen, when a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the monovalent or univalent or monovalent ion, like unipositive ion. For example, 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the unipositive ion. Tell me, when a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the unipositive ion, it can deposit how many moles of the substance? I want how many mole? 1 mole. Why? 1 Faraday equal to, it is a mole, 1 mole divided by n factor. What is the n factor for unipositive? 1. Therefore 1 mole by 1, 1. It can deposit 1 mole of substance. Yes or no? It means when a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed through the unipositive ion, and of course uninegative ion also, unipositive ion, it can deposit or liberate 1 mole of any substance. Similarly, this is very, very important, try to understand. 2 Faraday. So 2 Faraday of electric current is passed through the, or else take 1 Faraday only. 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the dipositive ion. It can deposit it can deposit how much? 1/2 molar, half mole of substance. Why? It is a 1 mole divided by n factor is 2, 1/2 mole. Similarly, 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the tripositive ion. It can deposit 1/3 mole of substance. Yes or no? Similarly, it is 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the tetrapositive 1/4. Okay, so can we write like this? 1 Faraday of A plus, which is equals to 1 mole. Okay, and 2 Faraday of A plus 2, 1 mole, because yes, 1 Faraday of A plus 2 equal to half mole, 2 Faraday of A plus 2 equal to again 1 mole. Next, 3 Faraday of tripositive ion, which is also equal to again 1 mole, and 4 Faraday of A plus 4 can also deposit 1 mole. Okay, see, now can we write like this? 1 Faraday of electric current passed through the unipositive ion, which can deposit 1 mole. 2 Faraday of electric current passed through the dipositive ion, which can deposit 1 mole. And 3 Faraday of tripositive deposited 1 mole, and 4 Faraday of electric current passed through the tetrapositive, which gives again 1 mole. Okay, write down question. Right. Calculate the number of moles of Calculate the number of moles of silver, copper and aluminum deposited by passing 1 Faraday of electric current through the by passing 1 Faraday of electric current through the AgNO3, copper sulfate and molten AlCl3 solution separately. Molten AlCl3 solution separately. Okay, see here 3 solutions given now. One is AgNO3 solution, second one is copper sulfate solution and AlCl3. Okay, this is a molten, right? Now first of all you tell me, when a current is passed through the AgNO3 solution, which is deposited? Ag or hydrogen? Ag, because Ag present after hydrogen. No, silver comes after hydrogen. That's what silver deposit. Here silver deposit. Next here copper or hydrogen? Copper, because copper comes after hydrogen. Here copper deposit. And in molten there is no hydrogen. Suppose if it is a aqueous AlCl3, can you expect aluminum to be deposit? No, hydrogen liberate, because aluminum present before hydrogen. Now it is molten, therefore aluminum deposit. Now question is, when 1 Faraday of electric current is passed, it is a unipositive, it is a dipositive, it is a tripositive. When a 1 Faraday of electric current is passed, so 1 mole of unipositive, half mole of dipositive, 1/3 mole of tripositive and 1/4 mole of tetrapositive ions are deposited. Yes or no? So therefore, now tell me, it is a 1 Faraday of electric current. 1 Faraday. Come on, tell me. 1 mole of Ag deposited, half mole of copper deposited and 1/3 mole of aluminum. Sometimes they ask ratio. What is the number of moles of ratio? Can you tell me? Ratio. The ratio of silver, it is, if you take 1, it is a 0.5, 1 it is a 0.3, means multiply with multiply with 6 multiply 6 ಮಾಡಿ 6 is to 3 is to ratio. Yes or no? Take down. One more question. Right? How many Faradays of electric current required? How many Faradays of electric current required in the following conversions? How many moles of electric current required in the following conversions? 1. MnO4 minus gives rise to Mn plus 2. Even these are board level question also. MnO4 minus gives rise to MnO2. 3. MnO4 minus gives rise to MnO4 minus 2. 4. Cr2O7 minus 2 gives rise to Cr plus 3. So in these conversions, how many Faradays of electric current required? Quickly. Okay, so to understand this, in redox reaction we have written equations. Those equations helpful here. Say one, MnO4 minus converts into Mn plus 2. Can you tell me which medium it is? Acidic medium. In acidic medium, what is the equation? 8H plus 5 electron gives rise to Mn plus 2 plus 4 water. It means, see, if you take 1 mole of MnO4 minus, it required 5 moles of electron. 1 molecule, 5 electron. 1 mole, 5 mole. 5 mole nothing but 5 Faraday. Is that no? It is 1 molecule, no? 1 molecule required 5 electrons. If you take 1 mole, it become what? 5 mole electron. 5 mole electron nothing but 5 Faraday. Yes or no? That's nothing but electron only, equal to electron. If you take 1 molecule, 5 electron. 1 mole, 5 mole electrons. Similarly in this case. Do it. Second one, MnO4 minus converts into MnO2. It is neutral medium. Okay, in neutral medium, tell me, it is a 2 H2O plus 3 electron gives rise to MnO2 plus 4 OH minus. Therefore here it is a 1 molecule. 1 molecule is taking 3 electron. For 1 molecule 3 electron required. If you take 1 mole, it is a 3 mole electron. 3 mole electron thing but 3 Faraday. Next, third one, MnO4 minus plus 1 electron converts into MnO4 minus 2. How many electrons? 1 electron. It is a 1 Faraday. For this conversion, 1 Faraday required. Next, Cr2O7 minus 2 plus 14 H plus 6 electron gives rise to 2 Cr plus 3 plus 7 H2O. Therefore here 6 electron, it become 6 Faraday. Finish? So take another question. Right. How much volume of oxygen liberated? How much volume of oxygen liberated by passing 2 Faraday of electric current? How much volume of oxygen liberated by passing 2 Faraday of electric current through the aqueous copper sulfate solution? Through the aqueous copper sulfate solution. Tell me, it is a aqueous copper sulfate solution. So through the aqueous copper sulfate solution, 2 Faraday of electric current is passed. How much oxygen liberated? See, you need not to think of copper sulfate, zinc sulfate, whatever it is. We want the relation between 1 Faraday and equivalent mass or equivalent volume. So 1 Faraday equal to, what is the equivalent volume of oxygen? 5.6 liters or 56,600 ml. Let it be copper sulfate, zinc sulfate, or whatever may be the solution. The relation is only between Faraday and equivalent volume. So 1 Faraday equal to 5.6 liter of oxygen, right? Then 2 Faraday equal to 2 into 5.6. It is a 11.2 liters of oxygen liberated. That's it. One more. Right. Which of the following has more electrical conductance? Which of the following has more electrical conductance? It is a previous see the question. Aqueous NaCl, molten NaCl, both are same. None of the above. Tell me, which of the following has more electrical conductance? Both are sodium chloride only, but one is a aqueous, another one is a molten. Yesterday, day before yesterday class, we discussed about this concept. You think what is the difference between these two? Both are having ion. Both are having same ion, Na plus Cl minus, that is also Na plus Cl minus. But what is the difference? It is in aqueous medium, there is a solvent. This is a molten, there is no solvent. But what is the role of solvent? The role of solvent is solvent makes separate. It is separation, no? So solvent always separate the cation and anion, and it separate as well as it brings far away from each other. That means that is nothing but dilution, no? Dilution. In dilution, the distance between cation and anion is increases. So when the distance increases, the force of attraction between the cation and anion decreases and ionic mobility increases. Therefore, answer is aqueous. Right on. Right. What is the volume of oxygen and hydrogen oxygen? What is the volume of hydrogen and oxygen liberated at cathode and anode respectively? What is the volume of hydrogen and oxygen liberated at cathode and anode respectively by passing 1 Faraday of electric current? By passing 1 Faraday of electric current. Okay, see, listen, this is interesting and important. Of course, tell me. It's equivalent volume, no? So 1 Faraday of electric current is equals to, it is how much volume of hydrogen? 11,200 ml of hydrogen, not okay, hydrogen. Okay, next 1 Faraday of electric current is also equal to 5,600 ml of oxygen. Okay, now this is all right, but now I want the relation between hydrogen and oxygen. Suppose question is like this. Very good, twice. The volume of hydrogen is always double to the volume of oxygen. Now based on this question can be asked like this. On electrolysis of water, acidified water, something 10 liter of hydrogen is liberated. Okay, on the electrolysis they don't mention what is a current. So they will give only the volume of hydrogen is 10 liter is liberated. When 10 liter of hydrogen liberated at cathode, what is the volume of oxygen liberated at anode? Same current is passed. It is half. because the volume of oxygen always half of the volume of hydrogen when same current is passed. Okay, therefore question idr mele bala important. Take this is volume of hydrogen liberated at cathode is always 2 into volume of oxygen liberated at anode. Okay, next slide. Right, when a same quantity of electric current is passed through the acidified water comma aqueous NaCl what is the ratio of number of moles of hydrogen and chlorine liberated at electrodes? What is the ratio of hydrogen and chlorine liberated electrodes? Very good, 1:1. ರಾಜೇಶ್ವರಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. when a same quantity of electric current is passed through the acidified water and aqueous NaCl, what is the ratio of number of moles of hydrogen and chlorine liberated at electrodes? We want the ratio of hydrogen and chlorine. Same or different? When the charge of the n factor is same, right, nothing but charge. When the n factor of ion is same, the same number of moles will be expected, because here H plus is plus 1, n factor, Cl minus is n factor is 1, therefore n factor 1 number of moles will be same. But if they ask volume, what is the volume of volume of hydrogen chlorine liberated? Same. If they ask what is the weight of the hydrogen and chlorine formed? Okay, the ratio is hydrogen is 1 gram, chlorine is 35.5 gram. Okay, that is different. Okay, one more. Right, what is the quantity of electric current required? What is the quantity of electric current required in coulomb? What is the quantity of electric current required in coulomb to deposit 3 grams of magnesium, by the electrolysis of molten MgCl2? By electrolysis of molten MgCl2. Quick. So what is the quantity of electric current coulomb? So how many coulombs of electric current required to deposit 3 grams of magnesium? Bega. Huh? Question ನೋಡಿ, coulombs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ 96,500 coulomb is equals to 1 Faraday na? What is the equivalent mass of magnesium? 12 gram magnesium. So therefore 96,500 coulomb equal to 12 grams. but the question asked that 3 grams of magnesium has to be deposited by passing how many coulombs of electric current, right? So multiply 3 and divided with 12. Okay, whatever it is. One more. Right. What is the time required? What is the time required to deposit? What is the time required to deposit 10 grams of hydrogen to liberate battery, to liberate 10 grams of hydrogen what is the time required to liberate 10 grams of hydrogen by electrolysis of acidified water, by the electrolysis of acidified water Okay, its data is enough. W equal to E by 96,500 coulomb into I into T. I required, no? I required. We want T, no? Okay, right. I. What the last? What you written? By electrolysis of acidified water and by passing 50 ampere current, 50 ampere current. Right, it is a data here, W given, I value given and E value not given and will not give. Why? E values we should know, equivalent weight. So what is the equivalent weight of hydrogen? Take 1. Okay. So you will get time in seconds. Okay, calculation is not required, just write approximately enough. Okay.